Right, let's start today's session. So in the last session, we just started with the console application basic programming with C#.NET. So let's flip to console application, which we created in the last session. See, the moment when we open Visual Studio 2022, so right now in the left-hand side panel, so your applications are going to be shown. Which we created, that applications are going to show. So this is the last session which we created console app 1.sln, that means solution file. So this I'm going to click on, directly it will open into console application. So we have seen a simple program, how to create a console application, and how to when we create console application, by default the application name console app 1, by default one class will be generated. This class is nothing but collection of variables and methods. So class is nothing but collection of variables and method. Inside the class we can declare variables, methods, functions, constructors, indexes, everything we can include. So this class is important, especially in object-oriented programming. So class is nothing but, in this class inside we can include a lot of variables and methods. And by default, right now when we create a class, so one entry point is there, that is called static void main. So this is the entry point of the program, and entry point means the program will execute, the program will start the execution from this entry point only. So this main method is having command line arguments, that is string args. This string args is nothing but command line arguments. And as I said, that console application is command user interface or character user interface. That's what, whenever we are going to execute the console application, you have to give input values in the form of characters. You have to get output from the application in the form of characters only. So that's what it is, string args command line arguments. Including command line arguments is optional, not compulsory. And here console.writeline hello world program. First time when we create console application, you will get this program. By default, one class is going to be add, that is called program.cs. Every C#.NET file is having extension that is called .cs only. CS means C#. When we run, now you can see, when we run this directly, so you are going to see the output window. This is command prompt window. Hello world is there. So here I'm going to exit from this output window. To exit from this output window, generally you can press enter key, or else you can press close button of this window. You can see this is the close button of this window. You can also click on close button. You can press enter key or close button. But there is a read method is there. That's what we are going to enter by exit from the output window. There is one more method, read key is there. Read key means, what is the specialty means, after executing the console application, after getting output window, to exit from the output window, then you just press any key. You can hit this any key from your keyboard, automatically will exit from the output window. So this is read key specialty here. And this is the first program which we have added. Now, for example, your console application is nothing but group of classes. We can include as many as classes you want. So for every program, we need not to create separate console application project. This project contains several classes. We can add number of classes to this application also. So how to add number of classes, more classes to this console application means, this is one option. Steps to add classes to the console application with existing console application. So go to Solution Explorer and right click on console app 1. Go to add. Now you can see click on class, or else click on new item. Anyone you can choose. Either you can click on new item or you can click on class. Let me click on class. So right now when I click on class, there are a lot of templates are there. I'm selecting the template called class template. So here class name is class1.cs is available. So if you want, you can change the name of the class also, not a problem. I'm not changing the name. Let it be class1.cs only. Click on add it. Once we add it, now note this point. So we have added a class, new class to this console app one, and then class one is available here. But note this, first time when we create console application, the application by default provides one program.cs file, and also it's having an entry point by default. But when we add new class to this console application, then there is no entry point. Again, another main method is not available. Only class one is there. But look at this, on the top of the program, we have a lot of built-in namespaces or usings also, we can call it as. In other languages like Java, how they'll use import keyword, but here we are using using system, it's a namespace, using system.collections.generic, using system.link, language integrated query, text, threading.text. All built-in namespaces are added for every application, but these are added by default, but it's not in active mode only. So as I said, that console class is present in system namespace. Whenever we include console class in this program, then system namespace is active only. Okay, yes. Let's see this how it is active. But before that, there is one more way also to add class to the existing console application. Okay, what is the second option? How to add console classes to the console application means, let's go to project menu on the top of the main menu. Go to add class, project menu, add class. Select the class template, and I'm selecting class. Class 2 is there. Click on add. It will add now. So either you can go through this one. This is a simple option, sir, to add class, extra class to the console application. So project menu, add class simply. Or else you can go through this one, Solution Explorer. Right click on console app one. Go to add. Same thing. Again class like this. Any one you can use. Any one option. So this is the way to add the class. So I have added class, but right now there is no main method or entry point of this program. To add main method, simply we can take static space void space main. This is entry point adding. But there is a shortcut key for adding entry point of your program. Instead of typing manually static void main, there is a shortcut key for adding the main method. What is the shortcut key means? You can type SVM. S for static, V for void, M for main. So after that, you can press double tab. So automatically when we click on double tab, static void main string args is there. Static void main string args is there. So this is the shortcut key for adding main method. SVM double tab is there. Okay. So now I'm trying to write some program here. So for a change, so I want to declare some variables. Suppose data type is integer, A is variable name, value is what? Just I'm taking 10. And now you can see immediately the Visual Studio 2022 is saying if user is expecting int b also 20, then simply you need not to type. You can press tab key, automatically it will be available. Like this, how many values you want, you can type it like this. Okay. So like this, it will allow. So or else you can go through next line. Again, you can tab it, automatically capture. So I'm going to declare two variables. Okay, these two variables I'm declaring. These two variables I want to print into my output window. To print that console.writeLine. So now you can see I'm going to directly print A only. Just you can see this A, and next one more value I want to print B only. Then next to stay back to our screen, console.read I'm taking. Console.read. So this is my just a simple program. Another program, I just declared the variables A and B, and how to print that A and B values into the output window I'm showing now. But look at this. This is my next program, class 1. Previously, I just added program.cs. I have executed that. But now, right now, class 1, I want to execute. To execute this class 1 execution process is what directly can hit this run button. But the moment when we hit the run button, what is the problem? You can see there were build errors. Build errors means compilation errors. So it is showing like, would you like to continue and run the last successful build? If you say yes means last successful build will run, no means it won't run anything. So it will show the error. What is the problem? If I say no means the problem error list is there in the bottom corner. So it's showing error list window. Program has more than one entry point defined. compile with the main to specify the type that contains entry point it is saying. That meaning is what? Your application is having two programs. One is class1.cs, it's having an entry point main method. At the same time, program.cs also is having an entry point main method. So it says that runtime CLR will get ambiguity situation. Ambiguity situation means to execute which main method onwards. So to avoid this, we need to change the startup object. How to change the startup object means this is the procedure. Startup object means you have to clearly inform that to the runtime from which main method onwards your execution should begin. That is nothing but startup object, changing startup object. And how to change startup object means these are the procedure. What is the procedure to change startup object? Go to Solution Explorer. So now you can see right click on console app 1. It's my application name. Then click on properties here. Okay, click on properties. Once we click on properties, then now you can see loading properties. In the you can just scroll down. You will be able to see this startup object here. So define the entry point to be called when the application loads. Okay, so it's saying clearly you can define the entry point means main method to be called when the application loads. Now expand this drop down list. Now you can see here two programs are there. Your application name is console app 1 dot program. Your application name console app 1 dot class 1. Which one do you want to execute? That one you can set it and click on save it now. Okay, click on save it. So compulsory how to save that, sir, because without saving changes will not allow. So click next, run this automatically. Your next program, what is that? Class1.cs is going to execute. Values are printing 10, 20 values are printing clearly. Let's exit. So this is the way to set the startup object. For every program separately how to write it and you have to create it. You have to run this. This is the procedure to execute your console application program. Suppose here, look at this program. Right now, we have included console class here, console.writeLine A only here, console.writeLine A. So next, so for example, here, console.writeLine A, but two variables are there. Two variables purpose, how many statements we included? Two statements, console.writeLine A and console.writeLine B only here. Okay, so this is. But why don't we take only one variable? Or else if you want to write any description along with A variable value, B variable value, simply what we can do. So let's go for description purpose. I'm giving double quotes. So value of A is, then how to add your variable value to the output statement plus A in the sense concatenation, that is. So value of B is, then again I'm going to add plus B here. So two variables I declared in my program, two values I'm going to include in the output window. So clearly value of A is 10, value of B is 20. This is the way to display the output values with the description clearly. And here two times, both are integer type variables. So if you want to declare in one line instead of declaring in two lines, directly we can do what actually is simply A value 10, comma, B value 10, 20, like this also we can declare. And at the same time, instead of two lines, okay, instead of using two lines, we can also use one line to print this output values. Suppose I want to keep these two into comment sections or now. Right now, I want to keep these two into comment section. So how to keep this two into comment section means simple. So let me select this Control EC means comment. Control EC means comment on. Again, uncomment in the sense, select this Control EU means uncomment. But don't worry, simple also we can do. You can select this, how many lines do you want to comment? There is a comment out selected line is there, option is there in the Visual Studio settings on the top corner. Commented out the select line, Control plus EC is there. Uncommented out the selected line is there, here is there. Let me comment it. So now we have commented because I need to use only one console statements for printing two values at a time. Console.writeLine. Now you can see here two values I want to print in the same line only. Values of A and B are plus A plus some space plus B plus double quotes like this. Look at this. This is the values we are printing in the same line. We have concatenated two variable values. This is one variable assignment to the output statement. Within the two double quotes, within the two plus symbols, concatenation, and a variable I have to declare. Some space or comma also we can give this, not a problem. Here, now you can see within the two double quotes, within the two plus symbols, and I have to use B. Last double quotes is going to replace with first double quote. So that means both are going to match. First we have opened the statements with the double quote, that is going to be closing now. So two variables are there, integer type variables. We are printing them into output window. So values of A and B are 10, 20. So within the same one single statement, we are printing this values, output values. So this is the way to handle. Otherwise, we have one more option is there. So let's see this. These are the options to print values to the output window. So one more option is there, console.writeLine. So here values of A and B are. So then placeholder 0 index and then placeholder 1 index, A comma B here. So first variable in which index do you want to supply, that you can do it. Suppose here I'm taking 0 index, A variable value will go 10 means 10, that is B variable value 1 index on. This is also possible, sir. This is another style to print values to the output window, same result. So what happens, or if I check this B comma A means what actually? First B value goes to 0 index, that is 20, but A value goes to 1 index, that is 10 only. But actually here, according to statement, that is wrong. Values of A value 20, not. B value 10, not. Because order is changing. In case if we are changing the order here, B comma A, at least we can change the indexes like 1 here and 0 here, we can pass. So 1 index value is what? A value, 10 will be there. 0 index value is what? 0 index value, B value. That is, now we can see values of A and B are 10, 20 like this. So 0 index B value, no? So 20 is going to be placed like this. So you can adjust that values. 0 and 1, I'm taking A comma B. This is one more option you have to print the values. There is one more option is there, that is called interpolated string option is there. So this is console.writeLine. Then you can see this, I'm going to use $sign. So this is interpolated option. So I'm taking values of A and B are. So I'm taking here percentage A, sorry, let me take this $sign should be out of the string. Okay, yes. Now you can see the moment when we go for here A, first A, comma B only. This is interpolated string, we can call it as. This also we can use. So this is one of the other format which we can display the input values, output values to the end user, like values of A and B are 10, 20. So if I remove $symbol, then what will happen, sir? Now you can see values of A and B are AB only, that is string format. It's your statement, console statement. Look at these values are coming to here. No, that's not correct. So we have to use $sign. So make clearly the values which will be take input values in the program, whatever input values are there 10, 20, it will be placed here only. So this is interpolated string format, and this is index format, and this is concatenation format. Multiple variable values we can display within the single statement, or else these two lines also possible. Each and every value separately we can able to assign to the output statement. These many possible ways to print the values into the output window. Okay, we have declared the variables. Data type is integer, variable is A, variable is B, values are 10 and 20. Both are variables are integer type of, so that's what I'm taking only one time data type declaration, and values and variables are here. This is the string displaying that values to the user. For example, look at this on the top of the program, system namespace is there. So I'm going to comment this system namespace here. The moment when we comment system namespace, but actually in the when we run this, now you can see it is going to be working or not. You can just check out which is working, sir, because in Visual Studio 2022, so top level including usings internally. If you don't use usings into on the top of the window also, it is going to be includes or by default. That's what it is showing. It's not showing any error. Actually, generally we have to all the console classes are present in system namespace I said. So this system namespace, if you include this console class, will work in Visual Studio 2019, but 2022 top level statements are included. That's what it is. Even though if I don't include, automatically it will be available console dot like this. Class is available. So where it is including using means if you want to see this simple logic. So you can see this, go to Solution Explorer. Console app 1 is my solution file. Double click on this one. Once if you double click on this one, now you can see implicit usings are enabled or not. Yes. Implicit usings enabled means settings means automatically enabled it is implicit usings. For example, if I try to do disable means let me save changes. Once implicit usings are disabled, let's go to class 1. The moment when I comment this one, now we can see here implicit usings are disabled. No, that's what it is showing now. Console does not exist in the current context. Look at this. The name console does not does not present in the current context. So when we execute this one now, this time what will happen? You can see build errors, compilation errors, because you have included in your program console class. It's a built-in class for printing the output values. But how many times you are using console class? That many times errors are coming. Console does not exist in the current context. Again, console does not exist in the current context. Okay. In my previous programs also, you can see this in the program.cs. Here also, there is no system namespace is there on the top. That's what it is showing error here. Here, first program, we worked with by default implicit usings only. That's what there is no need to include on the top using system. At least if you are not going to using on the top of the including system here, if you don't use system namespace including in the everywhere like this, also we can use system dot like this, because console class is always built-in class. It's present in the system namespace. This is the namespace, this is the class, this is the method. So this is, and even you can go to other program. Here also we can use system dot at least, but it is not required, because if you have 50 statements, console statements, every time 50 times you have to include system dot like this. Okay. So what is the shortcut means? Control plus EC. Look at this when we place mouse pointer on it. So commented out the selected line, control plus EC only. Now we can see uncomment purpose, control plus EU, uncomment. Comment, uncomment. C for comment, U for uncomment. Control is the combination here. Okay. So this is shortcut. But look at this system namespace I have included in every line. In this console one also system namespace included in every line. But this is not recommend actually. So if user is forgot to use the system namespace also in Visual Studio 2002 settings, by default implicit usings are enabled only. So that's what no problem at all. Okay, but because I have just disabled, no, that's what it is not showing. So that's what you can see. I'm not using this system every time. So because I'm activating this system namespace, that's okay, fine. Here we are using system namespace, correct. So this is okay. And in the program.cs also you can remove this. Now here it will give error because this program is executing by default top level statements usings. But in the console application one, so here in the settings only, so we have to implicit using enabled mode only there. Enabled means what actually? Implicit usings are enabled means automatically usings are enabled, sir. Even in your program, if you don't use any what we can say system namespace, if we comment this also, not a problem. This will not give any drawback. So I'm commenting this line. So now we can see even we don't have any issues, because even though if you comment on the top of the top level statements, but behind the scenes we have activated implicit usings no here. So implicit usings are enabled. If we disable compulsory everywhere, wherever you are using console class, there we must and should use system namespace. So this is the settings. Don't disturb this settings. Clearly implicit usings are enabled mode only here. Okay. Yes. So this is the class one, how to manage your out display values within the different statements only. But in these two programs, we have seen only how to give the values like string value inside the program and also integer values inside the program we shown. But sir, how to accept values at runtime? Runtime in the sense during the program execution time, I would like to accept values or input from the end user only. So that values how to accept means simply I can show the program, one more program I would like to add. How to add one more program in the sense simple project menu, add class. Go to project menu, add class only. After that, you can select the class template and class name. You can give this. You can give any name, class 2, class 3, class 4 like this. I'm giving class 2 is the name of. Now here I'm taking main method, SVM, shortcut keys there, double tab, SVM, double tab. Now for a change here in this program, I'm going to show you how to accept input values from the end user. So first I'm asking output statement true because I have to print this statement onto the output screen. Enter your name. I'm asking. Just I'm asking enter your. So the end user will enter the name. That name I have to capture. I have to capture and store into separate variable. How to store that value into separate variable means string s equals to. I'm taking console.readline only. So string s equals to console.readline. Okay. So now you can see whenever I'm taking console.readline, so it is showing some warning action. So first, let me show you. This statement is just for output statement. What do you want to display for the first time when we execute class2.cs? On the end user window, command prompt window, enter your name is going to show. But my requirement is the moment when user entered the name, that name I want to read it for that console.readline. In the last session, I discussed clearly to read the end user inputs. Console.readline can be used. It is used to read all the characters which is entered by the user. And this after reading, we need to store into what actually S variable. S is my storage variable here. So this is storage variable. This storage variable means value which will go and stored into S variable. After that, we need to print the value. So that is S only. But before S, what I can do, I can write my statements are console.read here. So console.readline. So I'm taking here my string statement here. How to use statements. Now you can see $sign. So your name is then what we can say yes only. This is the way to print. But let's change the startup object here. Okay. So I'm changing the startup object here. So startup object changing purpose where we can go, just go to Solution Explorer, right click on console app 1 and click on properties. Now we can see the moment when we change the startup objects, you can see this. Do you have any class2.py? No, sir. So look at this save changes, or else now you can see class2.cy is there. And now observe here, when we go for startup object changing option, sometimes you may not notice that all the classes which we included main method, all classes may not be present in the startup object here. Okay. Yes. Now, so right click on it and click on properties and go to here startup object here. But startup object window, it is now you can see class2.cs. You have to save the changes, then only you can refresh this window, automatically it will come class2.cs. Now you have to change this and save it. In case if you are not able to see the program name which you want to set startup object, okay, entry point, then simply what option is there? Next option means double click on console app 1. Immediately you can see startup object tag is there, console app 1.class2. Here we can change class 1, class 2, class 3, what class you want to execute, that name you can give it and save changes and run it. Now I'm running this class 2 program. Now this time you can see this, I'm giving enter your name. I'm entering my input is Mohan. My inputs are reading by the console.readline method. The moment when we use console.readline, it will read the user inputs, and that inputs are going to be stored into S variable. I have attached that S variable to this console.readline output statement. Your name is so and so. But look at this, the moment when I try to enter the value here, sometimes you can see we don't enter any value here. Enter your name. I don't enter any value here. That means what? Just uh, uh, without enter any value, I'm entering again. Your name is so and so. Null is available here. Null is chances are there. Yes, null is having chances. Your name is so and so. Nothing is there inside the S variable. Okay. Why? Because here you can see this nullable is enabled or not in this settings. Nullable is enabled. Nullable is enabled means what? So there is a chance to provide the null values. Null values also it will take. For example, if I take disable the nullable values in the settings, global settings, disable nullable values. If I disable nullable values, now you can see this in this in this program. Now you can see warning is gone here. Console.readline warning is gone. For example, in previously, which we have included this nullable is enable only. Control Z enable only. Save it. By default setting is nullable is enable. And when we go to your program, now you can see while reading the input values, console.readline statements you can print. Now there is a possibility is there. Represent the standard input output and error stream for console application and converting literal or possible null values to non-null value type. Until that means what? This possibility is there. So you have mentioned the string S. It's not a null type. It's a non-nullable type. But there is a possibility to include null values for the S only. So why? Because it is saying what in this application. So we have included we have already nullable tag is enabled. No, so that's what it is saying. Warning. Warning means what? You have declared this string as it is non-nullable, means you are accepting value, but there is a chance to give the null values from the user side only. It is saying yes, that is warning only. I'm giving null values. I'm not going to enter any data. Then your name is so and so. Null is there. Nothing is there. Okay. Yes. If you give enter the name, that name will go and stored into S variable. Not a problem. For example, if I entered my input name is Mohan, Mohan is coming here. But sir, if I try to, how we can avoid this warning means, so we have to say there may be chance to null also. How I can declare the variable there is a chance to null means after data type, you have to use question mark. Now we can see the moment when we use question mark symbol, this is called nullable type also here. That means this string, yes, maybe accept the null values also. That indication clearly. So that programmer can identify null values also. There is a possible null values. And also null value declaration it is. Okay, null values also can accept. Now we can see values also can accept, not a problem. If I don't use this question mark after data type, then warning sign is coming here. Now you can see console.readline converting null, literal or possible null values to non-nullable type. So here you have declared this S variable non-nullable type, but there is a possibility to enter nullable values also. So how to modify means, for example, if I try to take nullable disable means that warning is not going to show because we are saying nullable type is completely disabled. Disable means what? Actually, there is no warning. Even if I don't declare nullable type also, it's showing clearly console.readline, there is no warning. But if you run this now, this time you can see this. I'm trying to give the inputs null values. Now you can see null values is okay. No warning and nothing is coming. So both are same, but it is indicating like this. Literal means it's a data type, variables. Int literal, string literal, data type variables only. Literal means. Okay, so to avoid this warning, so by default in Visual Studio settings, nullable is enabled. So that means nullable values, we have to declare it manually. How to declare null type acceptance values in Visual Studio 2022, especially C#.NET 10 means, so we have to include question mark. In case your variable value is going to accept null values, then we have to use question mark through, we have to declare it. So this is console.readline. We are reading user inputs. That inputs I'm going to display into output window clear. So this is values we are accepting at runtime. So let me show you how to accept values at runtime. Enter your name. So my name is input Mohan. This Mohan is group of characters. To read group of characters purpose, console.readline you have to use. Then your name is so and so, Mohan is coming. So this is fine, sir. But sir, whether the value is going to stored inside the variable or not, how do I know that? Yes, we can do debug your program. Debug means what? Just keep the breakpoint in which line Do you want to check whether value is going to stored inside the variable or not? If you want to check, you can keep the breakpoint in this line. So breakpoint means just click with mouse, automatically breakpoint is going to be highlighted. So if you want to remove this breakpoint, you can click with mouse again, you can remove the breakpoint. So I'm going to keep the breakpoint here because I want to show whether my inputs are going to store inside the variable s or not. I want to show clearly. So that's the reason I'm keeping breakpoint. After keeping breakpoint, normally you can hit the run button. So after that, the moment when we run with the breakpoint, where you keep the breakpoint on that particular line, it is going to be highlighted now. So now when we place mouse pointer on S is saying, right now it is showing what? Null only. It is showing null, means the value, we don't entered anything. So that's what right now S is having null variable. Null values is there, nothing is there. Sir, how I can enter the value at runtime in the sense, after keeping breakpoint, after execution. So I strongly recommend you can hit from the keyboard function key plus F11. If you want to move line by line execution for further proceedings, function key plus F11 you have to hit. So let me hit the function key plus F11. It will go to next line. If immediately next line code is executing, in the output window, it is asking enter your name. Just I'm giving my name is Mohan. And the moment when we press enter button, and that Mohan value is going to store into S variable. When we keep mouse pointer on S, it is showing Mohan value. And here also when we place mouse pointer on S, it is showing Mohan value. And function key plus F11, function key plus F11. How long you have to hit the function key plus F11 means once we get the output window, then you can stop hitting function key plus F11. So your name is Mohan is coming. So this is what actually just showing how whether your input values are going to store inside the variable or not. So this is called debugging mechanism. You just keep the breakpoint in the logic code, logic statement, and after keeping breakpoint, you just run this. And after that, you can keep on hit function key plus F11, F11, F11 like that. So you can trace your program. Sometimes you may write a huge number of lines of code, and you are unable to find that in which line the problem is occurred, where is the problem, what is the problem, you are unable to find sometimes. In that context, we can keep the breakpoint and trace your program, and what is the exactly problem, we can easily trace out that by keeping the breakpoint only. So this is the purpose of keeping breakpoint exactly. And next, here we are accepting value at runtime. This is string value we are accepting because we declare string characters. But sir, how to accept integer value at runtime? Let's see this. I'm adding one simple class here. Class name is third class, class 3, and you have to include main method. And to change the startup object, simply go to console app1 here. Already we have included class 2 here. Class 3 I'm changing. Save it now. Once we save it, so you will be able to execute class 3 now. After that, I'm trying to declare the variables A. Okay. And here this values I have to accept at runtime. First, see inside the program when we declare the values int A equals to 10. Okay, int B equals to 20. So, okay, just observe here. Int C equals to 30. That means A plus B 30 calculation. I want to print this adding two numbers result. So now you can see result is plus C only. This is fine, sir. This is a simple program. But do you think is this accepting the values at runtime like integer values, numbers at runtime? No. Inside the program only, I just given the values like 10, 20, and 10 plus 20, 30 is the result is coming, 10 plus 20, 30. But my requirement is I don't want to give the values here inside the program. I want to accept these two values at runtime. So that's what I'm giving clarity here in the output window. Enter two numbers. I'm just asking. So the moment when we enter two numbers, first number we have to accept the at runtime only. So that we have to read it by using console.readline. So next number also I have to read it by using console.readline. Two numbers we have to input from the output window, like means end user input window. So then you can see the moment whenever I include console.readline, it's showing underline red squiggly. That means error. What is the error? Cannot implicitly convert type string to integer. Means what? So by default in C#.NET console application programming, whatever the values you are going to enter at runtime in the sense what? During the program execution time, that values are going to treated as string format by default. You have to convert that into integer format. So by default, the values, whatever we included at runtime during the program execution time, all the values are by default treated as a string format only. But previous program, you can see this, I have declared the string, but there is no issue because you are accepting the string values, you declared the string, but your inputs also at the program execution time or during runtime, that also treated as string only. There is no problem at all. But in this program now, you are reading the input values, but by default, every end user input values at the time of running, that's treated as string, but you declare the integer only. So implicit conversion is not possible. Implicit conversion means internally, one data type to another data type cannot convert. So explicitly as a programmer from your side, you have to do typecasting. Typecasting means converting one type to another data type. To convert from string to integer, either we can use convert dot to int method is there, here to int 32. And what is 32, 16 and 64 in tomorrow's session, I'll explain, don't worry that. And also here I'm taking convert dot to int 32. Right now I'm taking 32. It depends on your inputs range, 32, 16, 64, you can take it, not a problem. Now this is reading the input values. The moment when enter first number 10, suppose 10 is a string by default, string will be converted into integer format. After conversion specification, the integer value, A value stored, 10 value, B value stored, 20 or something, whatever you entered. Then finally A plus B is going to add it. Now you can see now I'm trying to accept the values at runtime. For example, 12 is my first number, 34 is my second number. But by default, this 12 and 34 also treated as what format? String. But string is going to be already converted into my program, no? Convert dot to int. Integer conversion, then 12 plus 34, 46 is coming. This is only at runtime, sir. During the program execution time, what you are going to give the inputs, that will be treated as string. But inside the program directly, whenever we give 10, 20, that is integer only because integer type only have given. That integer values are added. But only at the time of program execution, what values you are giving input, that values are treated as string only. That string values you need to be converted into integer form. For converting from string to integer, what conversion specifications are there? Convert dot to int method you can use, or else there is one more mechanism is there, int dot parse also there. This is also possible, int dot parse. Look at this, int dot parse. Int dot parse is there, int dot parse. So, but now we can see the moment when I give int dot parse here, it is saying like console dot read line. So possibly null reference argument for parameter means what? There is a possibility, null reference possibility is there. Null reference possibility is there means what? There is a chance to input user null values also. That is called warning because it is nullable type is activation or not. Yes, nullable type is activated. Now let's run this now. Int dot parse also successfully convert the values from string to integer. For example, 23 and 45. So the result is 68. But look at this, the moment whenever I try to give the zero values, okay, zero in the sense null. For example, here I'm taking, so 10 I'm taking, 0 I'm taking, 10 plus 0, that is 0 only, fine. But suppose if I don't give any input values, look at this, I'm not going to enter any input values, directly enter. Immediately it is saying what? Exception or no. Without enter any data, it is showing error. What is that? System.format exception. Input was not string in correct format. Okay, because you have declared what actually non-nullable type. So for example, if I declare nullable type, question mark is there here. No? Question mark is there for integer here. Now you can see question mark is available. And also here question mark is available. But even if I declare question mark, now you can see nullable type, null values 2 cannot be converted into int.parse. Int.parse, we cannot declare nullable type. Okay, but look at this, convert dot to int. So int.parse is going to be successfully convert the values from string to integer, not a problem. String to integer, it's okay. But if it is null values, it's unable to convert. But let's show that convert dot to int here. I'm taking convert dot to int. Look at this. Convert dot to int. Convert dot to int method is there. Convert dot to int method. And here also I'm taking convert dot to int method. Convert dot to int method. Convert dot to int. Now this time you can see this whenever I'm going to run this. Sometimes user may not enter any value. Now you can see here also it is saying input string was not in correct format. Your input should be compulsory, need to be required to enter. So there is no warning available nullable type because convert.toInt will accept that null value to integer values also, whatever it is, 10 plus 20, 30, working fine. Okay, so if I take question mark here and question mark here, this is what actually nullable type. And nullable type also we need to take here question mark here. Then there is a chance to get nullable values like a plus b. Now this time you can see this whenever I try to accept this nullable values to avoid this warning. If I don't enter any data, now you can see again it is saying input is compulsory required because we are reading. No, yes, we are reading. And zeros and zero nullable accepting. To avoid this warnings only, we have to make question mark only, because we are making this settings is nullable values enabled is there. So that's what here we have to make nullable values if you want to declare as a null type values. But actually null type values, it is not recommended to accept values at runtime. In case if you are trying to give the values here inside the program, then there is a possibility is there. So this is what accepting values at runtime. But in C#.NET console application, whatever the values you are accepting at runtime, by default that will be treated as what format? String format. But string format we have to be converted into integer format. So to convert from string to integer, what mechanisms are there? Convert.toInt method, int.parse method is there. What is exactly convert.toInt int.parse? I will show you proper examples in tomorrow session clearly. So there is clear differences there. Convert.toInt method is successfully convert the values from string to integer as well as null to integers also. But int.parse method is only convert the values from string to integer, but not converting values from null to integer. If null value is there, int.parse is the failure case. I'll show you proper examples, difference between convert.toInt and int.parse. What is that exactly with example? And also at the same time, why 2int32 and 2int16 and 2int64 also, you will get proper idea in tomorrow session clear. So you have option only for attending tomorrow. Once you attend tomorrow session, after that Monday onwards, the paid link will be there. That is GoToMeeting link. So if you really continue the sessions after tomorrow class, you have to enroll for this course. Otherwise, you can't able to continue from Monday onwards. You just decide as much as early. So that's all from my side today. So see you tomorrow again. So from here, I am going to start the lecture.
Sir, can I ask one question?
Yes, you can ask.
Sir, is there any difference between zero and null?
Obviously, that I am telling you. Difference between int.parse and convert.toInt in tomorrow session.
Okay, fine, sir.
Clear difference is there.
Okay. Okay. And sir, in this syntax also, okay, static void main. I mean, we have written the name of main. Yeah, that is M in capital. So is it, I mean, possible in C# or
Case C#.NET is a case sensitive. Compulsory, it is a main M capitals.
Okay. Because in other languages we are using normally M small, right? So
no.
And S in capital because it is a name of string. That is, it is a class, right? So
no, it is clear here. The standard way it is static void main. So even if you go for SVM and double tab, automatically this main method will create. It's a small letter not working because it is a what we can say main capital case sensitive language. It is to be taken.
Sir, and sir, what is the difference between .NET Framework and console? I mean, is there any or?
See, .NET, you can watch my demo lecture. I think so. You will get clarity. First session, which we have in YouTube channel DURGASOFT playlist .NET Core 1.
Okay.
So here this course is completely I'm explaining with .NET Core framework, not .NET Framework. .NET Framework is different. .NET Core is different. .NET Framework means once you develop the .NET Framework applications that will run on Windows operating system, that is platform dependent style. Then we go for .NET Core means platform independent, which can be run on any OS, Mac OS, Linux, Unix, and other operating system.
Okay.
But our console application, Windows application, web application, MVC application, entity framework application, and web API application, everything is same. These all applications we can create, we can develop using .NET Framework or using Core Framework also.
Okay.
But here I'm going to teach you .NET 6 only. .NET 6 means that is core only. .NET Framework means latest version 4.8 framework.
Okay. Clear, sir. Thank you.
You just watch my demo lecture so that you will get clarity what is .NET framework and what versions are there, core versions are there. I was explained clearly in that video. Anyway, you are going to receive that video lectures also once you enroll for this course. From my
Okay.
side, I'll send all the videos uploading to your Google Drive along
Okay.
with soft copy of a PDF also.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, is there any concept of annotations also in this C#
Yes.
language?
C#, yeah, C# with ASP.NET data annotation concept is there. Automatically it will be captured in ASP.NET web development. So what we can say application name dot data annotation namespace is there, that will come. So validation purpose. Here it is not there, but we have to include core library. That library need to be installed by using NuGet packages. So here NuGet packages are present in the Solution Explorer for ASP.NET. There we can go for annotations, data annotation option.
Okay.
So fine, see you tomorrow on the same link.
Thank you, sir.